Hello there and welcome back to some more Gran Turismo 1. Today we're continuing on with our Let's Play. This is episode 19. In today's episode we are taking a look at the Gran Valley 300km endurance race. For that we need a car that can withstand 300 kilometers, and for that we go to Nissan for the Nismo GTR LM. Because this is a reference to my GT2 LP, my original one, where I used this car at Gran Valley 300km. See how this stuff works out occasionally? Anyways, Gran Valley 300km endurance race. Drive along the Gran Valley Speedway and admire the best views in Gran Turismo racing. Yep, that's a word it's using. Just as the doorbell goes off. Incredible. Alright, so in the Gran Valley 300km endurance race we have the GTO Twin Turbo, a Castrol Super GT, that's probably going to be our closest competitor, an Impreza Rally Edition, a GTR LM, and a Lantis. And that is quite stiff competition, so for that reason we are going to skip qualifying. I would have done it if the opponent grid wasn't as harsh as that, but yeah, that was pretty harsh, so we're not going to do that. Alright, I feel sorry for the poor Lantis. There is 60 laps of this ready to go. And yeah, in Nismo GTR LM. The chat knows this, but you don't. This is the only time this car would ever show up in the series. Unfortunately, that GTR LM is the same colour as mine, which is unfortunate. I was hoping for something different. But anyways, yeah. This is the only time this car would ever show up. The only time the Nismo GTR LM that went to Le Mans was actually like a licensed car that you could drive. In every other Gran Turismo game, or in every other Gran Turismo game that the Nismo GTR LM road car appears in, this one doesn't. It is available as a race mod in GT2, but that's it. That's your lot. Other than that, you never get to drive this car. And I think another fun fact is I don't think I've ever driven this car in anything other than the pink, because why would you? I did get a brief run out in this car before, and I can safely say it handles very good. There's a little bit of low speed instability, which is sort of to be expected with high powered rear wheel drive cars in this game, but in general this is a pretty rock solid handling thing. A little bit on the heavy side, but other than that, good. Closest thing to this was the R33 GTR touring car. Yes, that was... I think the bodywork was fairly similar, although obviously that was technically based on the R33 GTR V-Spec-y thing from sort of the premium range of cars, if you will, as opposed to Nismo. We have absolutely shot off. A 142 on our first lap. We can do well over 300 kilometers an hour in this, which is very good. Unfortunately, this is a very long endurance race, so I think we're going to be sat here for about an hour and a half, so yeah, hopefully there's enough people in chat, and indeed there is, so far, so good. Yes, I got the fast grid, yeah. I got the slow grid, and then I got the fast grid. In case you're wondering, spoiler alert, although not really a spoiler alert if you've seen any of the streams, in order to grind more effectively and get to a point where I can show off every prize car, I'm using a cheat that basically sets a race to so many laps, and because I'm very rusty at recording these things, the last two times I've forgotten to turn it off, and so we got a slow grid. I did qualifying, which is how I know how good the car is to drive, and said my Nismo GTR LM fact. Then I crossed the line and nothing happened because, yeah, I forgot about the cheat. You can scream dirty cheater if you want, but ultimately at the end of the day, if you want me to show off all the prize cars and to actually grind the game, yeah, these things have to happen. I don't want to tell you. Yes, that race mod also doesn't show back up. Thank God, because the Puma one is better. Yeah, the Lantis is going to suffer in this one. 133 is not half bad around here, although obviously that's still on fairly fresh tyres. Things are probably going to change a little bit as we get into the more mid-race. I'm not quite sure on tyre change intervals in this. With my experience of the NSXR LM from last time, I'm going to assume you can just sort of, assume. I know that every tyre in this game wears at exactly the same rate, so there's no real point of discussing racing hards and all the rest of it. There's racing softs, that's the only tyre that really matters, as it turns out, so yeah, not really a lot. That one. The Puma one doesn't have a cool spoiler. It does not have a cool spoiler, that is true, but it is just better looking, so I'll take the trade-off on that. I kind of wish there was the option of it, just in case you wanted to use it for whatever reason. If it was in GT2 Plus, I probably would have used it for Hot Lap on at least one version of the 92 GTO, but yeah, again, for me personally, the Puma livery is just the better one of the two, so yeah. I mean, as long as it dies for a good livery, it's not like the Supra's race mod, for example, where the Supra's race mod that looked very, very cool in this game, in the next game was sort of generalized down to not really being all that interesting. So yeah, stuff like that, very angry. Anger, well as that one, not so much. The GT1 Turbo, yeah, the GT1 Turbo is cool. That also didn't show up past this point, but we can't use that in GT1. We can use it in GT2 Plus though. So, whoa, okay, interesting. Remembering GT1's incredible handling. Also, apologies for the people who get sensory deprivation, because you can hear the Ash song in the background, and that song is going to be playing for about an hour straight, so if you can't handle that, then yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Unfortunately, you may be worth skipping to the end. Yeah, the Supra in GT2, it has got a body kit, but it is literally just a body kitted Supra with the word Supra written on it, and that's kind of it. So yeah, there's not really a lot to that car's racing mod, as it turns out. So yeah, I mean, it's got a custom kit on it, like it's a custom body kit, but yeah, also oh yeah, I was about to say, for some reason I'm dropping 5 seconds, but I know why I've dropped 5 seconds. It's because we had a spin out. The fact that we managed to recover it in pretty quick order, quite impressive, IMO. Yeah, poor Lantis. I don't know if the Lantis is going to show up in all of these. In truth, if I was being really ballsy in this game, I would have used the Lantis in this game, just because, you know, I always feel sorry for it in GT1. It'd be nice to give it a bit of a redemption story, but truth be told, it doesn't really fit with any of the other cars I'm using. The funny thing is, I'm still actually not entirely 100% sure on what I'm going to be using for the GT World Championships. So, I don't know. But it won't be the Lantis, because, you know, I think I know what it is. I'm 90% sure on what I'm using the GT World Champs, provided this pays at least enough to get us to that, which, considering this is the longest race in the game, the two SS Route 11 races I think paid 150k. I imagine this is going to pay like 300k, I guess. Would be my get, maybe 200, maybe 250. If it's 250, as long as it's over 250, we're good. If it's not, then we'll have to do some small grinding again, which, to be fair, isn't too difficult in this game, because the normal car challenge exists, and the normal car challenge is pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're beatable in a lot of sort of different vehicles. The race cars in this game aren't that scary, to be honest. You know, Impreza Rally Edition gets good launch, but you can sort of see the gap I'm pulling on them. The AI in this game, they're difficult more. It's kind of a lot like most AIs in Gran Turismo games. They're a bit difficult in sort of the beginner game where they just have more powerful cars than you. But by the time you can afford to get a car that's roughly on their level, you can blitz them pretty easily, which is going to be the case here, as I'm sure you can see by now. It's 300k, cool. Yeah, as long as it's like 300k, we should be good. It's interesting then that you can do either this endurance races or the two all-night endurance races and earn the same amount of money. Admittedly, we're halfway through this, 9 minutes. Yeah, I think this is going to be an hour 30, hour 40. I think it was an hour 40 the first time I did this endurance race. I think the first time I did this endurance race, it might have been in the RX-7 A-Spec LM. That seems to ring a bell to me. I think that's a prize car for one of the events. I've got no idea which one. Is there an FC RX-7 in this game? I didn't think there was FCs. Could be wrong though, but I thought there was only FDs in this game. I'd maybe miss. There is a very high chance I'm misremembering. There's a lot of cars in this game, but I can't say I really remember them. US versus UK, yeah. Just two. Interesting. Yeah, the first LP of this was sort of very generally my first playthrough of the game itself. And you can tell because I just sort of used what anyone was telling me to use. This time out, having played the game once, I can sort of play it again and roughly know what I'm doing. That is a very roughly, but yeah. You can tell there's FCs in this game because they're terrible in GT2. Yeah. True. Yo, Godzilla, what's up, then? Yeah, okay. Interesting. That's lighting up, I don't really understand why. Hey, Lucas. But yeah, this is the Grand Valley 300 kilometers. It's one of those races that they insist on bringing back in every Gran Turismo game. And the fan base insists on calling it an iconic race, but that's just because it's been in all of these. It's not actually a good race, really. It's just an endurance race around Grand Valley. That's kind of all there is to this. There's not really a lot more to say once you've sort of got the original car for this. Yeah, not too bad. R2 Social, welcome. Hello BM Swordmaster as well. Welcome to an hour and a bit of driving a Skyline around an overrated Gran Turismo track. That really is all there is to this. So hopefully you all stick around and keep me entertained for this one. Because I am having to speak a lot over the Ash song here as well. Because, fun fact, in the original GT1 LP, I actually did get copyright struck for the garbage song in the game. I think I was quiet at one bit towards the end and it snapped it. But I think what I did to get around that is I just sort of clipped it, or it might not have even been clipping by that point. It might have been YouTube's got this weird system where it can like AI isolate your voice. It sounds pretty horrendous when it's doing it, and you can tell, but it's better than, deleting the video. Or I might have just left it. I actually don't remember. I did something with it. or maybe did nothing with it. I don't know. One of those two possibilities is true, I guess. You can barely hear the music over the engine note. As long as you can hear me, everything's good. Because yeah, I am conscious this game is very loud. I think that's a bit of a harsh way of saying it, but I do think 480p is kind of a redundant resolution, to be honest. I mean, you know, 720 is kind of 720 is like the bare minimum. Even that's not really like good enough, really, to be honest. It's why I went to 1080. I feel like 1080, you can't really argue with 1080. I mean, this is, fortunately for me, I play like Gran Turismo and stuff. If I became a GTA YouTuber, hint hint, I would probably go to 4K and just like kill the computer doing it. Hardware limitations? No, that's entirely fair. I mean, you should have some pretty major hardware limitations if you can't pull 720 though. I think most things have been able to. I mean, I've never uploaded anything in not 720 to my knowledge. I'll tell, like, I think there might be some really early videos where I took them directly off of Elgato, because Elgato originally couldn't do more than 480p. So, God, I don't even know if any of those videos still exist. If the original GT2 LP was 720, then yeah, I mean everything else should be around that, because that was back when I just used to put videos through Movie Maker and just sort of upscale them with that. We are coming up on the Lantis already, and it's lap 10, so sad to say we will be saying hello and goodbye to the Lantis, but we'll give it plenty of room to make sure it can still fight the good fight. There we go. Hi Lantis, bye Lantis. Unfortunately, you've come to the wrong party on this one. I don't really know what sort of speeds the other cars are managing, but they all look fairly close together. There's someone that's pulling out a lead in front. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's the GTO or the GTR. It could be one of the two, I guess. Because that GTO looked pretty rapid off the start. Obviously, GTO's handling issues aren't fantastic, but the rest of it should be pretty good. I'm not sure. Maybe it's the Impreza Rally Edition. Maybe the Impreza Rally Edition is a lot quicker of a car than I would otherwise give it credit for. I'm not too sure. But either way, it is romping away in the lead, whatever that car is, and it's going to be a while before we see it. Because, yeah. Tyres are still doing okay. I'm assuming this will probably, if I'm going aggressive, I suppose this will be like lap 15, lap 30, lap 45, free pit race. Maybe doing that. You think it's the Rally Edition then? If the Rally Edition is pretty insane? It could be. Yeah, I can't say I've really... I don't think I've ever driven the Impreza Rally Edition in this game. I don't think I've ever driven this car. To be honest with you, to be brutally honest, as I've said, the GT1 LP that you've seen was essentially my first time playing this. And I think since that LP, I've played Gran Turismo 1 a grand total of once. And it wasn't full completion, it was actually just... I was originally going to make a video on GT1 Plus because it didn't seem like anyone else was really making any videos on GT1 Plus, and so I wanted to cover it, but I think this was right when it first came out, but I didn't in the end. Mostly because I realised my GT1 knowledge isn't really there. And also GT1 Plus is very good, and it is the definitive way to play Gran Turismo 1. But in terms of like a fancy sort of video like the A-Spec ones and stuff, it's hard to do with GT1 A-Spec just because, or GT1 Plus, just because there really isn't like a lot of content to it. Because Gran Turismo 1, for those of you who don't know, if those of you ask why don't know or make mods for Gran Turismo 1, it's because Gran Turismo 1 is extremely limited. No one has cracked it. So, yeah. There's bits and pieces you can do, but basically the way this game is like coded is it expects every single file to be a certain size. It expects everything to have all its ducks in a row, and if it doesn't, the game just crashes. So, yeah, there's not a lot you can do with GT1. Again, let's be perfectly honest as well. If you can mod GT2, why would you ever touch GT1? So, yeah, that's kind of the crux of the issue there, is it's like, why would you want to mod GT1 when you can just mod GT2 or GT3 or GT4 more than you can GT1? Because GT1 is, you know, as harsh as it may sound, GT1 is the weakest one in the franchise. I mean, I don't think there's any real argument on that one by a modern standard. Love this game all you want, but let's be honest, it is all nostalgia. You know, GT2 has the unique car list, better event structure, better sort of gameplay enhancements and all the rest of it. And it does kind of make GT1 a bit obsolete in modern circles, which it's harsh to say that, but it is entirely true. Yeah. The first game comes out, it's fine. The second game sort of enhances it and builds on the formula, and then, you know, from there you either eventually reinvent yourself like Call of Duty did, or you become Forza Horizon, where you just sort of settle on a concept and then just release the same game as the last game. And Horizon 6 is probably going to be the same as Horizon 5, just with a better setting, because it's not set in Mexico anymore. Because, yeah, I don't know about you, but personally I find Mexico a bit of a dead setting, but then again, that's because I'm not South American. I'm sure a South American or a Mexican or whoever would probably say the same thing about Forza Horizon 4. I mean, I will be honest, I hate the physics in this game. They feel real. Nothing feels natural. In GT2, everything, you know, you can sort of get a grasp on how a car's going to handle and all the rest of it. GT1, nothing feels natural in this game. It all feels pretty, you know, like that. You just sort of bounce over everything. You'll get tail ends. Yeah, but let's be honest, Mexico is South American. Yeah, you should play it. It's good. It's very good. Again, it is the best way to play Gran Turismo 1. Objectively, best way to play Gran Turismo 1 is on the old Duck Station emulator with GT1 Plus. Again, I could be really annoying and make one of those stupid videos where it's like, wow, play remastered Gran Turismo 1 in 2026. Yeah, I think it's the same in this game, where the license test cars can be different depending on what you select. Nathan's explained license test before. Ironically enough, actually, if you go to the GT Planet Fed for Gran Turismo 2 Beige edition, PES2K was in there earlier talking about the fact that you can modify bits of license tests, but no one knows where the times or anything stored. Which is, spoiler alert, why Beige doesn't have license tests. I know. Cry. Or in my case, rejoice, because license tests suck, and they just artificially pad out the game's runtime. And if any other game tried to do that, you'd hate it. But because it's Gran Turismo, we tolerate it. Which, yeah. Yeah, that's certainly something people do, and certainly something I personally don't agree with. But, yeah. There are bits and pieces of license tests. You are actually reminding me of GC2 license tests, which, yeah. Yeah, the McLaren thing. Wait, which one are you talking about? McLaren in the driving mission? Are you on about in GC4? Can't say I've really noticed if you are. GC4. We'll come in for the pit stop. Someone else has already come in, so we may as well come in as well. Could have maybe stretched it to lap 20, but I don't think you're really going to get much from doing so. What? What? Did I... What? Why? What? Why? Why what? What? God, I hate this game. Oh, God above. What was that? Okay. Maybe that will be our new level of interestingness in this one, is we're not allowed to actually pit. That would make things more interesting, I suppose, considering how far ahead we are of the competition. Yeah, drive-through penalty. Who in F1 got the drive-through penalty in Australia? Can't remember now. Someone got a drive-through. I can't remember who. Drive. Hit stupid. Yeah, I don't. Unless it's because I went in too quickly. I don't really know. We'll try it differently this time round. I'll try and go in sort of ultra smooth. Colapinto. What did Colapinto get a stop-start penalty for? Lewis Hamilton simulator. True. Right, we're gonna... Ah! It's because apparently I came in too quickly, I guess. Well, at least we know we can get fresh tyres if we need them, or want them, or have them. Mario Superstar Baseball. I don't know what you're talking about, but hello. Oh god, no, wait, hold on a second. No, aren't you the guy who just comes in and spouts random game titles at people? You're the insane person. I remember you from the Forza days. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Anyways, we're almost half an hour into this, and we are not doing too badly. I guess it's going to be less than 2 hours, which is nice. Again, I think an hour and 40 was the previous time I set in this, so we'll see where we get at on this one. Part of me wishes I'd done this race the other day, but also you needed to have a reason for like the last stream to exist, because GC World Championships is legitimately going to be like half an hour and not much longer than that, so yeah, I don't think we really need a full sort of episode dedicated, or a full stream dedicated to it, if you will. But yeah, I mean, we're cooking, you know, we're going, we're doing our thing, we're doing our thing. Sorry. Master speed, master speed, master speed. You think with all the master speed logos around the track, they'd, you know, they'd be able to, you know, do their thing. But, yeah, I mean, we're cooking, you know, we're going, we're doing our thing, we're doing our thing. Sorry. Master speed, master speed, master speed. You think with all the master speed logos around the track, they'd, make the Mazda actually good in this race, but yeah. Mystery meat, what the fuck? I actually, do you know what? I don't want to know. I really don't want to know. Gotta keep speaking, because otherwise copyrighted music. I genuinely might go make a coffee in a minute or something, because I did not realise quite how dull this was going to be. I did say to myself, after GT6, I'm so happy I'll never have to do a Gran Turismo endurance race again. And then, here we are, I guess. Well, the good news is, these endurances should be fairly simple. The ones in GT2 should be as well, actually. Honestly, in hindsight, I would have been like way smarter about this whole thing and done GT1 before I even touched GT2, because yeah, we kind of wasted. I wasted a stream doing GT2, and obviously, you know, that stream's all the stuff on that's gonna come off. So this car's so fucking loud. Cool. That's what I like to hear. As long as the car is loud, we can get away with it. The car is also quick at the moment on its nice new fresh rubber. Yeah, the wheel and tyre model is pretty good. You can, I mean, I have music in the intros and outros now on YouTube, and for any sort of like, what's the word I'm looking for? For any like intermission stuff, I play music as well. And YouTube doesn't seem that bothered about it. I can still like run, I didn't mean to do that. I can still run ads and all the rest of it, and there's like no issues. Like the stream still shows up green here. It's still showing up like fine for monetization and stuff. I assume the reason they do that is so like you can get donations and stuff, and there's like no issue. I think there may have used to have been an issue where they could like take bits of your revenue, although I don't think, unlike the olden days, super chats count towards it used to count towards video revenue. I don't think it does that anymore. I think it, like, a super chat's just a super chat now, so there's no issue there really. So yeah, you can like play all this stuff and it doesn't really matter. It just means your VOD gets blocked until you take the stuff out. But fortunately for me, in terms of like these videos, you don't see the VODs for these anyway. Of course, if you were here live in the stream, you can go back and click the link and watch it. That's still up for people to do if they were here, but yeah, you're not really intended to watch VODs anyway. 9 times out of 10 I'll stream for a video, and if it's not for a video, then I'll just sort of make the live stream public. I've done that with a few of them recently. You might have seen a couple of months ago actually a random, I think it was GT4, like a random live stream on the randomizer mod when that came out. Or Spective, I can't remember, it was one of the two. But yeah, there was a stream for that I like made public because I saw it and there was no reason to not have it up, so it went up. So yeah, I want to say that might have been the stream before I was given a spec. I can't remember. I think it might have been actually, because I remember computers like doing his usual like, hey, listen. I have a GC2. I have a present for you. And then I got 1.2, which was cool. So. What style of music do I like? I like a lot of different music. I switch genres pretty insanely. The people who watch any of the intro and the outro stuff and stay for it will see my music taste is pretty eclectic. I'm trying to think really, like if I had to shadow myself down into something. I can't really do it. I've just got playlists that's just full of like random stuff. Before betting on black, yeah, he went to casino. Ooh, we're catching some cars now. We are catching some cars. One of them's just going to the pits, trying to see if we can peel over the wall. I cannot peel over the wall. No, he's okay. We're not going to see him on pit entry. And then there's the GTO and the GTR LM up here. So I suppose as of most recently, I've been listening to a lot of an English band called Beige. They were like I don't know how you describe it. They were like, Jesus, his tires are suffering more than mine are. They were like an 80s sort of synth post-punk band, I guess you would say. I've liked them for like a long time, but I've been in a bit of a renaissance with them as of late. I've also listened to quite a bit of Chili Peppers lately, although that's just because it keeps playing on my GTA self radio. Yeah, I mean, to give you an idea, we went from Thither to Snot to Echo Brain in the intro, so Brazilian funk. I'm sure if I heard some of it, I'd either hate it or like it. I don't know which way it would go. Well, no, I mean, honestly, I can listen to anything from, like, country to jazz to that to metal and Slipknot and Gojira and stuff like that. Well, I can go anywhere, really. My music taste, like I say, is... I have the music taste of an insane person, and it's great, so... Although I will say I'm not great on... Usually, if I hate something, I won't listen to it more than twice, and usually I have to listen to something at least twice or three times to, like, really get it, you know. So... That is probably my biggest musical issue, is I don't listen to anything twice, and I also hate every single musical act that's ever come out of Sheffield. But that's a different topic for a different day, so... No, honestly, my music taste is just mental. It really is. It's like this car's a bouncy. It is very bouncy. Which is interesting, because I don't remember the NSX being that bouncy, to be honest. I suppose the hilarious thing with this, if this is bouncy at 50 FPS, which is what this is being played at, then this car must be absolutely horrendous at, like, native frame rate. Because obviously every, like, physics item in Gran Turismo is done by frame rate, so... Yeah, this is probably like an insane car to drive in the base game, so yeah, interesting for certain. Nathan pointing out it's a live casino. It was indeed. It's not a real casino. It's a one with, I don't even know. I'll be honest, I don't even think. That's like one of those jobs that's like going to get replaced by AI in like 2 years' time, but we'll see. Again, I've never driven that Copperhead LM, so I can't really tell you one way or another whether that's a good car or not. can't say I really have much interest in driving a lot more in this game. Yeah, I don't know. If I change my tune on it, maybe there'll be a hot lap on it one day, but I don't see that being more than like just a passing joke. Yeah, no, I swear I've heard about the Cuphead being good, but yeah, I don't think I've ever actually driven it myself. Cerber LM edition. Yeah, I mean the Griffith we used in that in the one of those US versus UK races or whatever it was. That was a really nice car to drive actually. So it wouldn't surprise me if the Cerber was good. I mean, the Cerber, again, you know, you want to speak about hot lap, Cerber was the last British car to have the top of the spot before the Jaguar Formula 1 car, FTO yourself. I just find the FTO's wheelbase is all a bit too short for my liking. It's a bit too sort of skittish because of that. Definitely a good car, no question, but I think I would probably swing more towards the GTO LM edition if I had to pick. Just because that's four-wheel drive, but it's got a bit more stability. Yes, it's heavy, but as I've explained before, I'd rather deal with understeer than oversteer, just in general. Because, yeah, that's sort of what I prefer, to be honest. Lap 25-60. I do have to say, actually, it is. As long as I don't focus all the time, it sort of seems to fly by fairly straightforwardly. It's just, yeah, it's just a long race. That is not an Impreza rally car. What is? Oh, it's the Castrol Supra. I actually forgot the Castrol Supra was even in this race. Yeah, that is probably the car that's like leading the grid, considering it's one of the better handling GT cars in the game. I did actually completely forget. Like I said, that car was even here, so that's my mistake there on that one. Always got to remember when the Castrol Supra is here, because otherwise you'll make your mistake. Rally Edition, yeah. I guess the Rally Edition was the car that was in the pits a minute ago, and not that one. I used the T-Kanji guide for the license tests. Again, I've sort of said it before. Whether this car's bad to drive or not, you can see like the amount of gap I'm pulling on the AI right now. So quite literally, a car setup would only be to make the car slightly nicer to drive for me, which, considering it would be, you know, probably like 15-20 minutes to get everything set up exactly like in the video, I'll take the time lost from driving a slightly unwieldy car. So yeah, no, we don't fine-tune GT1 and 2, we don't believe that. Not real. I suppose GT4 you can start, but even then, I mean, if you go back and watch like GT4 LP, a lot of my tuning advice is just coming from someone telling me what type of LSD I should run on the car to keep it going. So yeah, there's again not really a lot of tuning strategy that I particularly notice in Gran Turismo games. It does have to be said, all in all. 27-60. I have got to be honest, I think I am going to go get a coffee. I'm going to get some coffee. GTA 3 music. It's not GTA 3, it's in LCS though. You did? See that on the shorts of the Beige edition that was on that. How long will it take them to finish Beige edition? Next year, probably, hopefully. If you sort of count, realistically, project started in October of 24. The groundwork was finalised in June of 25. I don't think sort of meaningful development really started until May. The Roadmaster was March, but I think May was sort of when Nathan sort of came full time onto this one. But yeah, with that in mind, things are going to slow down eventually because there's only so many sort of base car edits in there. You know, the vast majority of what we're adding is completely new models. Based on that, I think very late next year, it's probably around about where you're going to be hitting, but there's no targeted dates or anything. I think I've said this publicly before, but just to reiterate, Beige Edition gets one release, and that's the final release. And so, because of that, because it's only getting one release, the last 3-4 months of development is gonna be 3-4, probably like 2-3 really. The last 2 or 3 months of development is purely going to be dedicated to playtesting it to no end. So it's going to get playtested a ton. There might be some community involvement on that. I guess we'll sort of wait and see on that one. But yeah, the idea is it's just going to get playtested to here and back to make sure there's no issues in it whatsoever, and then provided there's no issues, or well, ideally in that point, you know, issues will get fixed and all the rest of it. Once it's completely finished and bug free, it'll come out. That'll be it. That's all you'll get. It'll be Beige Edition. Unlike with A-Spec, you don't have to worry about restarting, you know, a save every couple of months. That'll be it. It'll come out and that's it. That's what you get. So 525 cars, 330 brand new models, 150 sort of trim changes, a couple of cars from the base game, but that number is quite literally, I think, in the 30s, and even then all of them are being like fact checked and everything. They'll all have new physics as well, I think, because to sort of match the Beige Edition cars. So yeah, there's a lot to look forward to. Unfortunately, the problem with big projects like this is they take time. So that really is the issue. If I could clone Nathan like 4 ways, it'd be out before GTA 6, but I can't, so it won't be. I get what you mean. I don't really. There are more. There's more moderators than Nathan. It's just people I've personally spoken to be honest. But we don't need more moderators because there's no issue. If there's an issue, I can just ban people while I'm on the straights. So, yeah. A-Spec, as of current 1.2.1, has 150 cars. So, yeah. And that's, it's actually 148, I think is the number I've got for Hot Lap, so. And noteworthy mod streams, we barely get anything. And to be fair, even on those A-Spec streams, we didn't really have any issues, I don't think. So, yeah, there's no real need for moderators. Usually, to be honest with you, like, quite a lot of people I've seen the reason people make moderators is, oh, we're over 75 porting right now. Let's fucking go. Yeah, the reason we mostly have moderators, to be honest with you, is just to so I can sort of see friends of the community in the chat more than anything. But yeah, I can't even remember that. I'll be honest. Right, here's the thing. Spamming people, I agree, you need moderators. People who get angry with me are funny. And so I keep them around. I keep them around and then I get bored and then I block them. That's usually the way it goes. I remember in the... God, what was it? In that the A-Spec video I did, where I explained why personally I've got issues with... What's that? Where I explained the A-Spec issues and why there's been sort of issues covering it after the you-know-what debacle. I had a couple of people in my comment section. One of them implied about some... You get the lolicon people, who are the worst people on Earth. Well, not the worst, but they're pretty adjacent to the worst people on Earth, let's be perfectly honest. They're about one step of separation away from it. A couple of them tried something, and then you sort of reply to them just going, what? And they don't really explain it, because they try and do all vague talk like they're a Reddit moderator. And then there was one guy who had a thing. We had a bit of a back and forth for about 15 comments. And then in the end I just sort of blocked the guy and just hid him from the channel. I was like, I hope you go to prison, and by the way, good luck replying to this one. Doop, doop, doop. And that's how to handle it, you know. Have your fun, get in, bait for a bit, and then block, because it's my community and I'll do what I want with it. So, you know. But no, yeah. Soulmaster, I seem to remember now, actually, the guy who got angry. I can't remember. But it is ringing a bell now that I'm sort of speaking about it. Will we have Beige Hot Lap? Yep. Yeah. See, what they don't tell you is Beige Edition is actually fully complete now. I just need to mentally prepare myself to do another 500 and something laps of the Motorsports Line track to see what car comes out on top. Our current leader is the Jaguar Formula 1 concept with a time of a 25.472. The Rover 75 2-litre V6 connoisseur is unlikely to beat that. Oh, Nathan's not overloaded. Well, Nathan is overloaded, but Nathan deals with it. I'll be honest, one of the most mental things about Nathan is genuinely when Nathan gets burnt out on GT2 modding, he doesn't not stop GT2 modding, he just mods other things in GT2. Like, I remember he said a while ago, like, oh, I'm burning out, so I won't be doing stuff for a week. And he did, that was the week where he did the Lancer rally car and the Fabia rally car. Like, you don't understand, Nathan doesn't get burnt out from GT2 modding, he just gets burnt out from making Beige Edition cars, occasionally, or A-Spec cars, or whatever it is, and just has to make something for himself. Which is just the best bit about it. He actively, like, genuinely, like, hopefully this will never come back to bite me, and it shouldn't, because it seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders, but Nathan is just one of the most mental sort of people when it comes to loving the whole, like, thing of it. It's actually, like, absurd, like, how much he sort of loves the craft. Like, we was playing GTA the other day, and he's like, oh no, I've got to just, you know, I've got to make the C-Class, you know, and it's like, what? Like, what? But no, Nathan's great. Drip car. Drip Car is my child. Listen, Nathan, we all know who your child that you wish you aborted actually was. Me and you both know that. Yeah. Won't discuss that live, but let's just say, yeah. Yeah. Something got released recently, and it's not good. It's not good. It's very bad, actually. As in, it doesn't work. Drag Twingo. Fun facts about that HKS Drag Twingo, that started off as a joke, but because so many people said about it, it went into Epic Turismo. That's unfinished, genuinely cannot function properly until I finish it. I wish I had that. I like to think I have that sometimes, but I'll never forget. Every now and again, I'll just have a quick look through my Google Docs folder, because there is an insane amount of Google Docs I've just got called untitled documents. And one of the documents from 2019 genuinely has, please remember about this, this could be genuinely something. And I never did anything with it. I was going to review Grand Theft Auto 3 cars. Put them through a slalom and do handling tests and speed tests and stuff like that. Sort of like my old Forza reviews, but it was going to be a satirical one for GTA in 2019. I just never did it. Oh god, yeah, no. The one bad thing with Nathan, and we've been talking about doing a video on it for a while, if we ever get time. It would be pointing out every single vanilla model issue in GT2, and there is, there's insane stuff. Do you know the Peugeot 406 Coupe doesn't have door handles? It just doesn't have door handles. They forgot the door handles. Do you also know the LOD of the Peugeot 406 sedan has the coupe face? Because the coupe came first and they molded the sedan out of it. It is absurd. I regret nothing, yeah. Nah, Epic Turismo's dead. Epic Turismo's dead. It's not happening. If I was you, I'd cross that one off your bakers list. So, yeah. Screamer 2026 opinions? What does that mean? What does that mean? But no, yeah, Epic Turismo's kind of dead. The weird thing at the moment, to be honest with you, that seems to be going on in Gran Turismo modding. It might be just because I'm noticing it now that I'm a mod creator or something. There is an awful lot of people who are doing itsy bitsy projects that 9 times out of 10 don't really seem to be going anywhere. There's a lot of that where people are just sort of taking it and doing their own thing, which is just weird. There's a racing game coming out on the 20th. I've never heard of it, so I don't like to say. I just sort of play. I play games sparingly. I'm currently playing a lot of GTA Online. I'll be honest, that's sort of my vice away from this. I don't really know why. Because problem with GTA Online is it's kind of like having a full-time job, and I kind of have a full-time job. And so I get home from work and do work. But I don't know, maybe that's the same reason I like Euro Truck Simulator and American Truck Simulator and all the rest of it. I liked Everything But the Girl Blame. Everything But the Girl Blame is genuinely like one of the best songs in Gran Turismo 2. 100%. Nah, I get it. Being selfish, I wish that some of the more talented people would sort of group together. Sort of like how A-Spec was sort of a collaboration between like the people in the community. Because the other problem is a lot of these like mod projects, they don't really seem like they're going anywhere. Like, I don't really think there's a lot to them. Like, the scope isn't really there. Zegamic Effect. I've never heard of that one, but okay. Interesting. But yeah. But it also depends on like the skills in the community. Like, there's not a lot of 3D modelers that are good when it comes to GT2. Yeah. Pizza Edition is the new. No. Pizza Edition's yeah. It might be somewhat one day, but it. Oh, Pizza Edition. Jesus. Yeah, I haven't covered that yet for a reason, because I don't really think it's in a coverable state. If I had to describe it now, I'd describe it as raw dough. It's not really pizza, it's kind of raw dough at the moment, you know. Maybe it'll be something one day, but at the moment it's raw dough. Oh god, no, I mean, especially towards the end, Epic Turismo got a lot of like good stuff. Yeah. To be fair, I mean, cars like the FSO Polonaise, also, I think that's the first time we've seen the timer go into the hours, and as you can see, it definitely wasn't made for it. I remember with Epic Turismo, I was originally going to cover it in Hot Lap for stuff like the Polonaise, but a lot of the earlier Epic Turismo cars are kind of just vanilla cars. Like, the Polonaise is, if you actually look at it, it's very clearly a model edit of just like the Lancia Delta, which is why it has, I think, the same colours as the Lancia, and why it has the same stats as the Lancia. And so for that reason, there's not really any point of covering it. And then, like, I don't know, I don't want to do like parts of the cars, I'd even want to do like the full thing on one of it. So yeah, for that reason, as Dragon's Den will say I'm out. I'm actually shocked, this GTO and this GTR-LM seem to be having a pretty interesting scrap, if they are indeed as close as I think they are. If it's not just a case of that one's actually like a lap ahead of the other one or something. But yeah. Rest assured, in Beige Edition you can drive a fully formed Polonaise. It is the Caro Plus. It's still a Polonaise. Yeah, the spoon fits an S2000 GT1. Yeah. Oh, they are from scratch. Interesting. I thought they were just Delta colours. Oh yeah, no, because there's that like weird yellowy colour, isn't there? Which I think is an actual like Polonaise colour. Interesting. But no, so I mean I thought about it, but not. I didn't really think a lot about it. And again, it's the same sort of. Pretty much any mod that doesn't come out and has its own stats and stuff, because otherwise you are just sort of retesting vanilla cars. You know, like the school bus from Hot Pursuit, well, Need for Speed 3 or whatever it is. You know, that's just the Toyota GT1, so you're just driving the Toyota GT1 with less visibility. The Netherlands ambulance was just in a Spas F1. You know, stuff like that. And there's also those weird holes with like upgrades and stuff. Admittedly, Beige is also going to have those holes with upgrades because we're reducing the upgrade system down quite a lot because you don't need all of it. But yeah, nice. I mean, the Mudo video was one of your finest works of art, if I do say so myself. Yeah, honestly, true. This is why we do these things in stream, Godzilla. I mean, the race... I mean, what more is there to say about this? I'm winning by a lot. There's not a lot going on. I'm going to pit in 5 laps time. That's kind of it. Yeah. It's why I always do the endurances live. Fun fact, by the way, the first ever live stream I ever did was it was actually the Grand Valley 300 kilometers endurance race on GT2 with this, not this exact car, but a car that looks like this and basically is this. So, yeah, there you go. Fun little fact for you. That was my first ever live stream. At that time, I think I had like 3 people in chat, I think, at various times. For what I remember, it was Rhino, a guy called Microlin, who I don't know what that guy's up to, but hopefully it's all going well. And I can't remember what the other guy was called. I actually don't remember his name. I haven't seen him for forever either as well. I think he was around sort of like 2017, 2018. And then eventually went the way of the dodo, like a lot of people do. Discord friends aren't forever. Sorry, I was drinking coffee. It was good. No. No, these VODs are, the whole point of these VODs is you hear it and you see them live and that's kind of it. So there won't be a VOD playlist for this. You can watch the videos if you want to see what happened in the VODs. Basically. The reason I don't do it is because if you put the VODs up, it basically means you have 2 videos that have the exact same thing in them and they're basically competing with one another for views. It's just not worth it, to be honest. I know a few of my Let's Play compatriots these days do literally, I mean pretty much, let's be honest, not even my racing Let's Play compatriots, let's extend it even further. Most like big racing game channels these days are literally just sort of live streams and they're just edited down clips of live streams. And I don't really subscribe to that. So, Discord exclusive. In what Discord? We don't have a Discord server anymore. Where would it go? You know. What do you want, a Pizza Edition exclusive? Not a chance. Like, if you've been to them, you can click the links and still watch them. They're still on YouTube. I cut the music out of them sometimes, just because I'm tired of having all the notifications up, so I sort of like go through and trim them out occasionally, but other than that, like I say, the problem is it's just video content that, like, objectively like fights with the other ones. Yeah, Pizza Edition. I mean, how many people are in that server? It's like me, you, and another guy. And Epic Trismo's dead. And I don't really want to go into the Epic Trismo Discord because I kind of know what it's gonna do. Submaniac is around on YouTube. I think he's shown up to a stream before, or they, I'm not quite sure. Pez2K has been in my comment section before. I know that for a fact. Me and Pez is absolutely aware of what I do. As I know, he came into my comment section and said, "Hey, guess what? For GT2 plus 8.0, I'm going to be redoing a lot of car stats, which means you can do all the cars over again." And I was like, "Yay!" Kill me. But yeah, no, Submaniac's cool. I think GT 2.1 bits are happening with it. I think it's a passion project though, so. Oh my. Well, I would never go on DeviantArt, to be honest, so. I think, I'll be honest, Nathan, my first thing of the Epic Turismo thing is I took one look in announcements and muted every single channel apart from the downloads tab. And I'm fairly certain it's still that way to this day. So. I'm going to do Gran Turismo 2 after this because it's the 10th anniversary of that game. Or me first Let's Playing that game. Beyond that, I'll be honest, I played a lot of PS1 racing games as a kid, and I remember absolutely none of them. I've played Vanishing Point on stream a few times, because it's just such a bizarre game. I kind of love it, even though it's a terrible game objectively. But I'd never like LP that or anything like that. I don't think there's anything I'd do as an LP. There's stuff I might split down into like a live stream that you can watch, but I've always wanted to redo Toka 1, Toka 2 and Toka World Touring Cars, but as each year passes, the chance of that happening sort of dwindles one by one. Yeah, there's a lot of weird people. Turns out when you want to modify a 26-year-old game, you might be a bit strange. I could have guessed. But yeah, the like I say, Tokas and stuff, I don't know, maybe I should do a 10th anniversary replay of Toka 1, but I doubt it. Yeah, I don't really know. I'll be honest, the like re-let's play thing's cool, and I don't mind doing it. It's kind of fun. It's the same problem that you usually get with Let's Plays. The start of the game is like hilariously good fun, you're having such a good time and everything's going with a blast, and everyone's laughing and joking and having fun. And then you sort of enter like the mid-game slog of where every event becomes the same thing, and then you sort of get to the end game and you get happy again, you know. So, yeah, I don't know, we'll see. I'm not really hankering to... There's always stuff I wish I would do, but I just don't have the time to do it. I still need to Let's Play Liberty City Stories at some point. But, didn't Techno play the Minecraft YouTuber who died? What the fuck? But yeah, no. I don't know, we'll see. Well, I never really know what I'm gonna do. I'll be honest, if you asked me like not last year, but like, I don't know, about 18 months ago, would you be modding Gran Turismo 2? I'd say absolutely not. So, who really knows what's going to happen in like the next couple of months. The only thing I'm very aware of is we can't hot lap forever, folks. And I think we all need to accept that one. But I mean, as long as there's content to do, we keep doing it, but yeah, we can't hot lap forever, so I guess that's all we need an exit strategy at some point, but I don't know, we'll see. Whether that means I become a GTA 6 YouTuber or I start Let's Playing stuff again, like the ending of Game of Thrones where everything resets, who knows? I guess we'll see. I don't really know. I mean, I've made an orange, or no, I didn't make an orange, did I? I made an orange and everyone hated my orange, and then my orange got redone. Orange is okay. I mean, Gran Turismo, as far as we can work out in the vanilla game, they had some sort of, as far as we've been able to work out, so at some point in the game's life cycle, Polyphony made like a colour alternator almost, where they were essentially just sort of like pumping colours into some sort of program and it was coming out with something. And that's why we think a lot of the Gran Turismo colours are as inaccurate as they are, because they were kind of just dumping brochures into this program that was just adding them to the cars. We think, we're not really sure, but hello, Dee. But yeah, that's what we think happened anyway. We don't know for certain. Well, no one will never really. Also, final pit stop, by the way. No one. Those early days of like GT2 are kind of like completely unknown to anyone who wasn't in there. So, yeah, there's quite a few. The 306 is really off. The 106 is pretty off. Pretty much any French car in the game kind of sucks. The Zara model is horrendous, which is why we're going to be redoing that at some point. The Opel and Vauxhall models are all a bit strange because they don't actually seem to... You'd assume one was made from the other, but it doesn't actually appear like that's the case, which is just as bizarre. But yeah, there's something weird going on there. Godzilla's using Google Translate, so there might be a bit of an issue with some of the phrases it's spitting out for him. So just give him some slack. But yeah, there we go. But no, there's a lot of like bad vanilla models in GT2, and unfortunately, the more we discover of these, the more we add to the time of Beige Edition. Because I'll be honest, if you asked me at the start of this project, would be remodeling the CRX Del Sol, the answer probably would have been no, and I think Nathan would have probably agreed. But here we are, it happened. So, yeah, we'll see how many original models truly survive into the release of Beige. But there's some genuinely like exceptional models that they did in like the game. You know, there's some pretty downright good GT2 models, especially the ones made during like the later times of production. Like, as far as we can tell, the MRS is pretty spot on. I think the Focus is quite good, all things considered. It's mainly, if anything was from like GT1, it's really bad, or usually it's the European cars that kind of got shafted. I think the TT has a really bad model, but fortunately that's one of the cars that we're not keeping in the Audi dealership for Beige, so we're not going to look at that. Although it will be available in arcade mode, because that's... Yeah, I suppose if you really wanted like an unofficial way of looking at it, you know, GT5 was not the first one to have premium and standard cars. You know, GT2 you have standard and subpar would be the way to describe it. Granted, yeah, I don't... I can't say I've ever really played any of the Japanese stuff, and so for that reason it wouldn't lend... Like, playing a game for a first time wouldn't be a let's play, that'd be a stream thing, and If it involves reading Japanese at all, I can't read Japanese. I'll freely admit that. I'm a filthy gaijin. I do not understand. This car burned in real life, did it? I know it wasn't good. I didn't realise it caught fire. Also true. Right. Thanks for coming out, Godzilla. Catch you later. Have you noticed the trees have a weird shadow? Is that an emulator thing, or is that how they actually are in the base game? They have like a weird, like, sort of grey aura around them. Very bizarre. What about the Fiat Coupe? Yeah, I didn't realise it caught fire. Yeah, the bouncing is interesting, to say the least. Fortunately, we're on the run out to the final 10 laps of this event. And then we can get into the GT World Championships, and then it can end. Holy moly. Are you excited for the end? Because I am too. I did click start recording, but yeah. I just had to double check that, otherwise there'd be a problem. Alright. While we're doing this, I'm going to quickly have a bit of fan action. You might hear that very faintly in the background. Excuse me. Alright, beginning the final 10 laps of this. What do you call it? I mean, it hasn't been bad. I don't really know how you'd describe this. It's just kind of been like, I don't know, eating white phosphorus. Yeah. There's lots of things I'd rather be doing than this, but, you know, in the grand scheme of things, you know, yeah. The Lantis is here again. Unfortunately, as I've discussed before, unlike GT2, you can't get... There's no live timing in this game, so... Unfortunately, we'll never really know how far behind the Lantis truly is unless we sit and wait for it to finish, which I don't even think you can do. I think it boots you into the replay eventually. And speaking of which, unfortunately for you stream viewers, you are going to have to sit through the replay with me for a couple of minutes, because I can't save the replay because, you know, file sizes and stuff like that. So, yeah. We passed it on lap 10, so realistically I probably should have passed that for the 5th time now, and that should be the 5th and final time we pass it. Obviously it's last. I will say, unlike prior, where the GTO and the what was it? The GTO and the Nismo GTR-LM, they appear to have broken off a little bit now. I think the field's getting quite spread out towards the end of this. Yeah, I'll be honest. This has been, out of pretty much any endurance I've ever done, this one's probably been the more sort of like blink and you miss it. Like, I don't like SSR11, but I feel like the track layout of SSR11 lends itself more to this style of race, well as, you know, in this race it's kind of just been like, meh. Nothing's really happening. Like, oh god, all the LODs are terrible. So one thing I'm excited to go back to GT2 for is that all the WODs are fine. The other thing I'm excited for, of course, is it means I don't have to ever turn widescreen rendering on again. Which means next time I play GT2, nothing is going to appear stupidly thin for no reason. The only unfortunate thing is I'm going to have to remember to turn off the any car can place any track cheat when I switch between the Let's Play and modding Beige edition, but unlike GT1, that was our fastest lap, by the way. Well, let's go. Yeah, unlike GT1, a lot of the events are really short, so the episodes can come out thick and fast, and we've already got 22 episodes recorded, so yeah, that's good. So yeah, GT2 should be pretty plain sailing. We did quite a lot of it on the first stream way back in January. Everything isn't a fucking championship, damn straight. It's honestly, I feel like GT2 was the first like racing game I got really into. Like I played racing games before it, but GT2 was the one that I got like really into. And I feel like GT2 has kind of ruined my life when it comes to my expectations in racing games, because Gran Turismo 2 constantly throws rewards at you. It constantly throws rewards at you. Every race is short. You know, there's endurance races in that game, but nothing is ever over 5 laps. In like any of the championships, there's a good variety of tracks, and they're all fairly short. Unlike this game, where it seems to just want to throw all the long tracks at you all the time, like GT3 does. There's the GTR LM, and I'm assuming up the road is the GTO. You know, it just feels like a lot more compact and tight. And like the game was sort of worried about you getting bored, and so as a result my attention span for stuff like this is really not there, because I hate endurance races. I feel like if I was like younger and I played GT4 as my first Gran Turismo, you know, I'd probably be a lot more patient when it comes to stuff and life in general, to be honest, but you know, instead I like very short races. Oh god, I love GT6 because it is just like the 24 minutes of Le Mans get me into that. Good golly, it's mine. But no, I feel like I'd have like more of an attention span. It's kind of why I think deep down that's kind of why I really liked Call of Duty. It's because Call of Duty, when, especially like before anything else like it had come out, I played Halo before, and Halo was cool, but like COD, you know, like you'd get like 10 headshots, and then like you get a new camouflage, and you get like 15, you get a new camouflage, and you kill 10 people and you get a new attachment, and then if you killed 20 people with that attachment, you get a new attachment. And so, you know, flashing like constantly rewarding stuff. That's what I liked about it. I think that's probably why I like GTA Online as well, because like, you know, you do long, boring biker selling missions, and it's the same stuff that you do all the time, but at the end of it, you get shiny money. Yeah, around 2 hours. I'm in two minds about around 2 hours. I don't know whether to do what I did last time, which is just like select a normal car and just let me do it, or select like an extremely quick car and see if I can beat the 99 lap limit. But I'm fairly certain that would require me to run a Scudo or a Cultus, and I sort of plan to run them earlier in the LP, so yeah, we'll see on that one. 1996 Fuji. Is it this one that burnt? I know, doesn't one of these survive? One of them's in the Nissan Museum, right? I'm not sure which one it is. I'm assuming if one of them was to die, it'd be this one. But then again, I mean, race cars are sketchy. It's like how, like, the championship winning Pennzoil Skyline, like, got completely written off. Or was it? No, it's the Calsonic Skyline in the 1999 JGCC season. I think got like completely destroyed, or maybe it was the champion winning Penzon. One of them got destroyed, either way. I'm not playing Legacy GTA Online ever again, I'll be honest. I've got too much in the Enhanced Edition now, sorry. Right, yeah, I'm not going to go back to Legacy. It was the Penzon, okay. Yeah, if it's a number 23, that's what this car would have been in real life. The reason I hated the Nürburgring 4-hour is because the 24-hour of Nürburgring existed. And it felt very redundant having like two things. Crash zone increases, yeah. I think that's fair. The upgrade's free. Also, the file size is ironically small. But no, I mean, like I say, I've been grinding Enhanced, and like my Legacy character now will be legitimately like probably 30-40 levels behind what I am, and I have like a mansion and all the biker MC businesses and stuff now. So yeah, unfortunately I will not be returning to Legacy. That, and I am a GTA Plus subscriber, so of course I'm a GTA Plus subscriber. Because, you know, I don't like working hard, I like hardly working. But yeah, no, I remember it was one of the GTRs like died. So, do you like this Ash song, by the way? People have said they can't hear it, so that's good. Yeah, the German livery is cool. I mean, I almost ran that in Hot Lap, and then I figured out it was just like an R. Oh, I sort of remembered it's just an R390 really, so there's no point of running both of them. I run both when it comes to the JGTC cars, just because they're different, but like, you know, like the V12 LMR, when that eventually runs in Hot Lap, that's going to be the I know what I want livery. It's just because I prefer it, so. Nice. I play like exclusively in invite-only sessions, always have done, so I never really experienced any like the modding stuff back in the when. It's on like the new version's got like anti-cheat and stuff in it, so I think so less of that happens, but it's kernel level stuff, and it doesn't bother me personally because I don't really care, but I think for some people it does. Ash, I mean, I'll be honest, I remember Ash from this GT2, and didn't they do like, was it Plug-in Baby or something they did? I actually don't remember. Yeah, I mean, Battle Eye's probably bad, but again, I play an invite only lobby, so if it doesn't do its job, it doesn't really bother me. I don't care how much extra, you know, I don't care how much these GT Online YouTubers go, oh, well, if you're selling a full lobby, you get a special bonus for getting 50% more money. Nope, not a chance, not risking it, don't care. Not interested, not dealing with it, don't want it. I'd rather sit and plod on my own and not be blown up by some dude on an Oppressor Mark II for $3,000. There is an Ash song in GT3, although I can't remember which one it is. But no, there's definitely an Ash song in GT3. I think it's got a long name from what I remember. I can't remember what it's called though. 3 laps to go. Let's go. It's almost over now. Almost over now. It appears my original calculation of an hour and 40 minutes is pretty good. We are absolutely doing the GT World Championship tonight. There is... I've come this far to get so close. So, we're doing it. Absolutely. It is over now. This game is finishing tonight. I'm not even risking it tomorrow, because knowing my luck tomorrow, I'll like die or something. Yeah, and then the next stream will be GT2, whenever that next stream will be. Just as a reminder, Hot Lap isn't happening this week. To be fair, I might wait until the GT2 license videos are out the way as well. I guess we'll sort of see on that one. I may or may not do that just to stem the tide. I've not been proactive at all with this though. Like, all the GT2 stuff doesn't have thumbnails or anything. It's all sort of pre-edited. Like, I just need to stick the intro and the outro on the arse end of it, just because, you know, but, yeah, the actual, like, thumbnails and all that just haven't done, but, I mean, you know me by now. If you don't see thumbnails, I'll usually update them within, like, the first couple of days or a week or so. This might be one of those, because I do think I'm going to have to, like, tonight I'm actually going to have to literally edit this down, render it, and upload it like tonight in one go. And it's 9 o'clock now, and ideally I want to be in bed by about 11 o'clock, so we'll see how that goes. It's going to be tight pushing this out for tomorrow, that's all I'll say, but yeah, we like a challenge, we'll be a beat. Worst case scenario, go to bed a bit later and, you know, risk my real life job in pursuit of 200 views on YouTube. But it'll be worth it in the end, yeah, on the paycheck and stuff. And it's worth it for my own sanity as well, because if it didn't happen then... thoughts on the new Grand Tour casting choice? I'll be honest, I haven't even looked at... I know there's a new cast, I have no idea who it is. Well, I'm gonna be brutally honest, man. I watched every season of Top Gear when it like first happened, when it came out, religiously. And then the Grand Tour, I kind of fell off on the Grand Tour. I liked it. I liked everything I watched. I watched the entire first 3 seasons, although I will be honest, eventually I did like start phasing out of it. Like, it got to the point where I was just sort of like playing a game and I'd stick it on in the background or whatever. And then the specials, I've seen like half of them. I watched the Lock special the other day, the Scotland one, where they went around in American cars, just because I thought about it. But no, I feel like Grand Tour, the first season of Grand Tour was not good. Like, with like the celebrity brain crash thing, and that unscripted episode is so painfully awful, to be honest. But like, after that, season 2 was fine, and then season 3 was really, really good. But I don't know, you know, they called time on it. I honestly think it's the right decision, because yeah, it was, personally for me, it was going to start getting into that place of like, you know, kind of just wish they'd sort of like call it a day. Fortunately, we get to call it a day on this endurance race. So, yeah, no, I like I say, I haven't really looked into it. I won't be watching it though, just because I barely kept up with the normal version, so yeah. Anyways, people in stream, you're gonna watch the replay, yay. I always like to try and get a car in the background, but if I can't, then it is what it is. Alright, first place, did a lot of laps, And we got 300,000 credits. Huzzah. Fantastic. Alright. So, as we continue, we're going to get a trophy, maybe? Or not? Do you just get new machining garage at the end of this? It doesn't even tell you. Either way, you do get a prize car, and it's the Castrol Supra GT in black, red, and green. Unique colour. Wow. Literally everyone who plays GT1 ends the game with this car. Will we do the same? Well, you have to find out in the next episode. Join us for that, where we're going to be taking a look at the Gran Turismo World Championship. Until then, farewell.